Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. We've got the MR6 in here. The cover is off of it now because it actually dried out overnight. Kept both heaters on and dried out. It's now back in the trunk and very happy. We keep the car covered with this because at the track you never know what's going to happen. It could rain. We've actually seen everything: rain, snow, sun, sleet, grapple. If you guys know what grapple is, you get 100 extra bonus points. And this car has ran through all of it. It doesn't care. Well, the event where we had the grapple race, we did have a money shift and that's okay and stuff. But it ran for part of that. That was a very odd weekend. Sunny and 55. An hour later, it was incredibly windy and heavy rain. 2 hours later, it was trying to snow, and that's when we got the grapple. And then later on in the evening, it actually did snow. And then it warmed up overnight and it went to rain again. And then in the morning, it was sunny and like 45. So it was just a very, very odd weekend. And very, that's Pennsylvania weather for you, right? You would think that would be Ohio weather. So get a car cover for this. It's very cheap, less than $50. It just ties off on the spokes on the wheel. And we are getting new wheels for this. I did all that math earlier, and getting new wheels, getting new Continental tires, and be very happy with that setup. Should be pretty cool. The Miata will be getting the brand new wheels, the 949 Racing 6ULs, 15 by 8 with a plus 36 offset, and they're going to get, I believe we're going to do either the Toyo R1Rs or we'll do the extreme contact sports on that car as well. So we'll be all set for sunny Florida, rainy Atlanta, wet Ohio, all of that, cold Ohio, all of that. Although that car won't be in Ohio much longer. Most of these cars won't be in Ohio much longer. So got the wheels and tires sorted. Just need to get them ordered, and a couple of the tires are out of stock. They're back ordered, which kind of sucks. But and I got to change. I was trying to have background music, but they keep running ads with the background music, so I have to keep skipping past those. Another thing that I run on all of my cars are battery maintainers, and I've tested in my years of doing stuff with cars. I've tested all of the different brands. Deltran, which you guys know is battery tender. CTEC, who's a very good manufacturer, European manufacturer. NOCO, Schumacher, Stanley, Black & Decker, which is kind of the same thing, and a host of other like cheapo Chinese brands. The best one out there, and everyone knows battery tender is their name. It's like Kleenex. You know, say handing a tissue, like, hey, grab the Kleenex. Same kind of thing. Hey, put the battery tender on. Well, it's actually technically a battery maintainer. That's what it does, and people love the Deltran, the battery tender stuff. And okay, that's fine. But I will tell you that they are at least 20 years behind in the technology compared to someone like NOCO, someone like CTEC. CTEC does OEM battery maintainers for Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Planet. They make, you know, that's who those manufacturers go to for maintaining their batteries. And I'll tell you right now, 2 batteries in Rolls-Royce are, I don't even know, they're probably the size, each battery is about the size of, I can't even tell you, they have to be 20 inches long, 8 inches deep, and probably 8 inches wide. They're huge. And there's 2 of them, one on each side in the trunk. They're massive. And if you're, maintaining those batteries, you have to have a pretty good maintenance. There's no way that the Delta stuff can keep up with that. So they go to CTEC, and CTEC has pretty analogy. They're a European company, and they have some pretty good stuff in there. But after all of my testing on supercars, on regular cars, on trucks, on boats, on all this other stuff, trailers, everything else, the NOCO stuff, by far the best. This is what I have on the Viper. This is what I have on the race car. On this one is going to this race car, and that one is the new one for the Miata because my old 3500, NOCO 3500, which is 5 or 6 years old and not really. It's gonna be the one for the trailer. I'm just gonna kind of use it as a backup, floater, if you will. So this is what you get from NOCO. By the way, NOCO has not paid me a dime. They didn't send. I paid for these with my own money. Um, they don't sponsor me. They don't do anything. I believe in their brand. I believe in their product, and I've never had an issue with a NOCO product. So I've never had to contact them. I go on Amazon. I go to the NOCO page, order it, full warranty, all that stuff. This is how it comes. It's in a cardboard box, and then I do an unboxing right here. Where'd my other razor blade go? That's my other small razor blade. So we'll just keep it simple. Tells you what's in the box, and it also tells you what it does, which is kind of cool. This is the 2 amp version, the NOCO Genius 2, and oh my god, you get one song, one ad, one song, one ad. All right, coming back here. I might just turn that off because it's really annoying. So NOCO Genius 2, and what it does is it maintains the battery, and then what's in the box, and how it works with regarding the charge. So these units. Oh, and then this is the box. These guys actually do what a battery maintainer should do, and they they started in 1915 doing battery maintenance, which, by the way, is really funny. Electric cars were actually and more popular than gasoline cars for a long time. Um, so here's the package. Here's how it shows up, and just your 2 styrofoam guys. Whoa, 3 pieces of styrofoam. One in the back. It's very small. That is your mounting block, and then your instructions. Just gonna put this stuff back. The instructions are in a couple of different languages and RTFM, right? So very simple. What you should do: English, French, what all the LEDs mean, and how to use them. The little package that fell out was the clip, which we might actually use in this car. I'm debating on that as we speak. So this is a clip that you can screw into your car, and then this guy will clip onto it. So we'll hang on to him. We put the styrofoam back in here. It's not styrofoam, it's just regular clip and styrofoam. You're going to see this packaging. You can also go in there. So here's what you get. You get these really nice alligator clips, and they go super wide. The other cool part about these alligator clips is you can unscrew them, and then there's a 6 millimeter hole right there. So you can use just the wire section and do that right onto your battery. It comes to the cover. So that's kind of a nice feature. You can also get extra. They're like $20 or something, $25 for just this section, and that way you can do it to multiple cars if you want. Again, all this is available on the Amazon store. It's nothing huge. So this is how big the Genius is. It's not very big, and it does 12 volt AGM, 12 volt lithium, and 6 volt. And you can also force it. It does have a force mode where it starts at 0 volt, which is pretty cool. So if you have a dead battery, you can actually get it going. And the cord's a decent length. If you have this in the garage somewhere, I would recommend a 12 gauge cable. Even though it's only 2 amps, heavier duty gauge cable would be great. So you've got about 2 meters on both sides, something like that. And we have a warning: don't plug this in and get in the bathtub sticker, which God, amazes me that they actually have to have these stickers on things. So when you see a warning label, it's because of a lawsuit. And when you see a warning label for something that's idiotic, it's probably because of an idiot. So thanks for the warning. I got it. I don't want that flopping around. So we took that off. So I'll bring you guys. Actually, don't need any of the rest of this stuff. So we'll kind of pack it all back up. Oh, they give you a little catalog too for all your other accessories. Now, the other thing that they do have are boost boxes. Those are all the boost boxes they have, which are fantastic. I have a GB40 in the Jeep, and I have a GB70 in the truck, and they're great, really great. The GB70, I can jumpstart a John Deere 5500 series tractor with a dead battery. I've done it before, and I can probably do it again. So we'll box this up, put him back in the cardboard box, and send him off to recycling. That's it. I have this other one. I'm going to open him up while I'm here. I believe these units, the twos are $44 or $49. I can look really quick. The twos are going to be fine for small batteries. So this car, group 30, group 26 battery, I believe. I think. Pulls up the bottom. And they have a Genius 5, which is a 5 amp, which is for a little more standard car batteries. They have bigger ones too, but the ones I use most are these 2 amps. I have a 2 amp on the ACR Neon. I have a 2 amp that is going on the Miata, and a 2 amp is going on this. I have a 1 amp on both of the motorcycles, and I have a 2 amp on the diesel lawnmower. So, oh yeah, and this has the plastic plug cover. This one does too, I'm sure. Yep. So we'll cut off our warning label. It's sad that this is what our society has become, but that's what our society has become. So actually, this one also has a clip, and my big flipper feet keep kicking the tire here. So when I get this stuff unboxed, I'll bring you guys around to the front of the car and show you where all this stuff hooks up. It's very simple, actually. So we're all unhooked. We have our pads and things here. That one didn't have a pad on the bottom, or is it still on the bottom? Different packaging. Okay, and recycle. So one thing that I do is on the back of these, I will label them what they're for. And that way, if someone else has one, like at the Motorplex, we have a ton of them. If someone else has one, I can be like, "Oh no, this is for the GT500, or this is for the Honda, or whatever." I know exactly what it is. We also use this. Uh, we have one on the Ariel Atom, so I'm just going to mark this one really quick, and I use a paint pen, and I had a silver paint pen here. There it is, and just on the back, I'm going to write Miata. This paint can be silver paint. There it goes. My A's don't look very good here. That's kind of rough, but it works. Miata. And we'll let this guy dry. And then on this, we're going to do MR6. Do it nice and big, kind of big. R looks messed up. Number 6. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear that ad. I'm going to turn off the background music because the ads kill it. And that's the end of that. So, uh, ma'am doesn't look very good here, but see if we can help it out a little. And by the way, these are not made in China. They are designed in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're made in Vietnam. So a little higher quality than China. That one says MR6. So this one is dedicated now to this car. And we will use, for now, we'll use the alligator clips that came with it. And their clips are proprietary. It doesn't use an SAE type plug. It's a proprietary, and one of them is what is that? 5 sides, pentagonal shaped, and the other one is round. And I think ground is round. So that one's all set, and it does have a little fuse in the positive, and I believe he is a 5 amp fuse. These guys are very weatherproof. They can they can take an Ohio winter, but probably just one. This is a 4 amp fuse that's inside here. So it's twice the rated amp, which should it'll keep your car safe. And I'm gonna hang on to these clips. These are nice. It's a plastic clip with a Velcro tie off, and it comes with 2 mounting screws. And if it's something that we want to keep in the car, I might add these. They don't really weigh anything, but the maintainer does weigh, and we want to keep the car's weight down. So I'm gonna hang on to those because I don't quite know if we're gonna add it yet. And by the way, this is brought to you by Rockstar. Ah, all right. I'm gonna bring you guys over to the front of the car. We'll just go for a little ride here. Isn't this fun? Whoop, we got to jump the extending cord here. Watch out for the lift arm. All right. We have another extension cord here because we have the maintainer currently hooked up. So move this guy out of the way now that he's cool. All right, so let's take a look and see where our maintainer is. He is flashing green, which is a very good sign. So this is our 10 amp. Oh, he's nice and warm too. This is our Genius 10, and he also does repair and 12-volt supply. So he's a big boy. You can use this on tractors, on diesel trucks, on really, really big batteries. For that Rolls Royce with the 2 batteries, I would probably run one of these. So we'll get him unhooked. And you notice he has the smaller, heavier, they're heavier duty, but they don't go quite as wide as the other clamps do. And their connectors don't come off. So this is a little different, little heavier duty unit than the other one. But he works great. I really like this guy. And he just has my initials on the back. He doesn't belong to any particular car. So we'll wrap this up loosely, get it out of the way. And actually, he should go over here with our battery stuff. Also, NOCO makes batteries. They make lithium-ion batteries. And I tried this one in the Miata. That's why I have the posts on here. And it didn't really work in the Miata, but these things are crazy. I mean, this is 700 amps. Wait, what is it? This is a 12-volt, 700 amp battery. And rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It doesn't say the weight on here, but I can tell you right now, it's like 2 boxes of cereal. I mean, it's super light, super light. It would be great to use that in the Miata, but we can't really. So our battery for the MR6, and I'll bring you guys down in here with me. Our battery for the MR6, you can kind of see it right there. And we have a cover for it. And the cover goes on like this, and there's a strap that comes over top of it, and that is our safety spec. Now we do have some weird stuff in here. We have our 2 fog lights that are wired directly to this, which should be wired to the main kill, but they never got wired. And we have our computer is also wired to this, which we shouldn't really do. This is one of the fog lights. This is one of the other fog lights here. I don't know where he goes around to, but he comes back up. So we should not be running those to this. We should be running them to a switched power over to this guy, but we did it very quick. We got the fog lights really quick. So that's how it stayed, and we're okay with it. If we get into a major accident, those fog lights will get killed, and that will, we don't have to worry about them sucking any power. So yeah, let's get the Genius 2 hooked up. I'll show you how easy this is to do. So I have an extension cord on the floor here. And the best way to do it is to just get everything in place before you hook it up. You'll plug it in first, and then you'll hook up the connectors. So our 2, see, I mean, I could very easily mount that right there. I have a lovely mounting spot right here. And I'm just going to set them there because I think you guys can see them. Get the cords on the right side. They get wrapped up pretty easily. Set those there. And then the nice thing is, if you unplug that, you just have that connector, this proprietary connector, and you can run it out the fender, or you can run it down the front of the car, and then you don't have to open hood or anything like that. You can just connect it. You know that it's already wired up and ready to go. So if you want to, you can do that. For this car, we're not going to do that yet. So this is actually a 10 gauge extension cord. A little bit of overkill, but that's because we run heaters with it. And our NOCO fires up. He goes into, I have power mode. He doesn't know what kind of battery you have yet. So we're going to switch him, hold down. And he goes to 12-volt mode. Nope. There we go. Okay. So he is ready to go. Black goes to negative, red goes to positive, and he will automatically start charging. He'll figure out that he's hooked up to a battery. No, not yet. Oh, there we go. Now, I just told him he's 12-volt AGM, and he's going to start charging. And these bands, it'll go from red to green as he's charging. When it's flashing green, it's about 80% fully charged. When it's solid green, it's 100% fully charged. Now, the nice part about the NOCOs is when you leave it on, like over the winter, over time, it'll drain a little bit of the battery and then charge it back up as if you'd driven the car, which is a pretty cool feature. Not a lot of maintainers do that. I think C-Tech does it. I have a grommet here that I'm going to try and get back into place. We had it out when we were doing the camera cable. I'd just like to keep a little more water out of here. Oh, you can see he's already cleared that first red bar. All right. I think that grommet's back in there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, grommet. He's already cleared the first red bar and the second red bar. Now he's gone to the orange. And because it was charging overnight, it should be pretty quick to go back up to charge. It should be. We should get green here very soon. Maybe, hopefully. But that's all it really is. And this is in order to keep your battery, when you want to hop in the car and drive it, car starts. So we'll see how quick he gets to flashing green. Should be pretty quick. I'm going to move this extension cord out of the way. It's almost solid orange now. Bring the camera up a little bit. You guys can still see him, right? Hopefully. This car is significantly lower with those coilovers on it. Holy smokes. Wow. And there we go. He's already on flashing green. So that's how quick, when you have a maintained battery, that's how nice it works. They also have genius setups like this with two amps and two 5 amps, and I think, or maybe it's 4 amps. I think it's two 4-amp connectors for like diesel trucks that have 2 batteries. You can run one maintainer and it splits off. It does 4 amps and 4 amps. I believe it's 4 amps and 4 amps. So it'll do both batteries at the same time. But yeah, that's how simple it is. And this way your car starts every single time. Now, the other thing I did in here was kill main power, because I believe from the computer that we have in there, I'm not going to close the hood all the way. But I'll wheel you guys over to this side of the car. And up over the extension cord again. Okay. So over in here, if you notice, we have our main kill. This is our main kill switch, and I have it off currently. So you can take the key out, and if we do that, the battery will charge. If we give it power, then the computer that's inside over in the passenger area over there underneath the dash, that will, actually the capacitor is behind the gauges there on the console. That capacitor will drain those batteries very quickly. So we have to, it doesn't drain it quickly. It drains it in a day or two, but it's a pain in the ass. You don't want to have to go and charge the battery again. And the more times, whether you have a flooded or an AGM or even a LiPo battery, the more times you drain it and reload it, the weaker it gets. So you want to keep it as charged as possible, or with a little bit of maintenance, take it down 20 or 30% and then bring it back up. So to have it drained fully and then bring it back, it's kind of a pain because there's a lot of science here. Sorry. The plates in there, they get sulfide on them, and that's how you get your electricity. So when they drain, those plates get jammed up with that sulfide, and that's a dead battery. When you do a repair, like with the Genius 10, it'll desulfate those plates, take all that sulfate off of there, and then it'll go back and recharge it, and it'll line those plates back up nice and smooth. That's a good thing. That's what you want. So it helps. That's why they call it a maintainer. Helps maintain the life of your battery. And it's a good thing, This guy, since the Miata already has a plug coming out of the back by the license plate, we're going to save him. We're going to put him up with our other NOCO stuff. So this is how many NOCO things I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sure I have more than this. This is just all I see right here, because I've broken a few and scorched a few, but that's how simple it is to do the battery maintainer. Oh, I'll look up the price for you guys on the two. Where did Amazon go? I swear I had it here. And my orders, and delivered today. And these guys are $49.95. So $50, and they'll last you years. So if it lasts you 5 years, that's $10 a year. That's pretty cheap battery maintenance, if you ask me. Pretty cheap battery maintenance. And especially when your batteries, like that battery's $220 for this car. I'd rather not replace it, every year. So I'll spend $50 on a maintainer. The 1 amp maintainers, I think, are $30. They're perfect for motorcycles. You get a little, use the little extension. You get the 6mm bolts. They go right to your battery. Stash the connector. This connector. Stash it up underneath one of the cowlings, or behind the gas tank, something like that. And then when you get off the bike, just pop it down, plug it in. You have a fresh battery every time you start the motorcycle. So, and they're very small. The 1 amp ones are actually a little bit smaller than this. These 2 amps are great. The 5 amp is barely bigger than this. The old 3500s were kind of a little bit bigger than a candy bar, like a Hershey bar. This is half of a Hershey bar, and a little thicker, obviously. I wish they made Hershey bars that thick, but they work great. And after trying everything and watching maintainers fail on McLarens and watching battery tenders not be able to handle the cold of like an Ohio winter, and you know the Schumacher one shorting out. I've seen it all from all of those guys. So you know, again, this is completely unsolicited. This is just my life experience with what works, and they're about the same price. These might be $5 more, but the technology's 10, 15 years ahead of anybody else out there. So, you know, go with what you know and use what works. So we'll see if NOCO hops on as a sponsor. I might have a NOCO painted car next time you see it. But yeah, I've been using their stuff for a long time. The Viper starts every single time. Uh, when the Demon was here, it started every time. The ACR starts every single time. The Miata starts every single time. My motorcycles, my Grom, my NC700 BCT start every single time because I have this on there. If you don't have a battery on it, or if you don't have a battery maintainer on it, especially on motorcycle batteries, they're not they're not super durable, super tough, and it's tough to get AGMs in that smaller size. So you have to go to lithium, and those are like $400. They're really expensive. Normally you have to do a special charger. The nice part with this is these handle lithium, and they do a really good job with it because they have their own lithium batteries. So you can use this with a lithium charger. It's not going to blow anything up. Um, so one day, maybe I'll get lithium batteries for the motorcycles. We'll see if they come down in price. They're very expensive right now. I can't remember how much that NOCO battery was, but God, I wish that thing worked in the Miata. It would be so great. It's 700 amps, but it doesn't have for some reason, it doesn't run the Miata very long. I don't know what the story is, but it's a really cool lightweight battery. It would drop almost 20 pounds from the Miata right away. I mean, that's how light that thing is. 700 amps, I could probably use it in the mower. My mower has a Deca deep cycle battery in it right now. That's what it came with. And like I said, I keep I just have the 1 amp. No, do I have the 1 amp or the 2 amp? I think I just have the 1 amp for that. And that stays on it over the winter. And then spring comes to mow again. It starts every time. So that's why that guy works. Other stuff on the MR6 is I got to take this 77 off the roof. I got to sand this down and paint it white. This is actually truck bed liner. We did this at the track because we needed numbers on one of the horizontal surfaces, not just on vertical surfaces. So I'll take the grinder to that, probably just the flap wheel, and take that off and repaint it white up here. I do like the Baby Yoda on top, but we might get rid of Baby Yoda. This is the way. And yeah, I think that's about it. Try and keep the car kind of clean. It is a race car, so it's going to get dirty. That's good thing I got a white car, right? Yeah, good idea, Kev. But white and black, the two hardest colors to keep clean. And silver. I don't know why. I didn't get a brown car. Didn't get a blue car. Yeah. So we'll keep going on this. I'll keep bringing you guys cool stuff. This is going for an alignment on Wednesday. And Chuck, who does all of my race alignments for the SOT4, for the Viper, for this, for the Miata, he's great. Really, really great guy. And he goes above and beyond. And he'll do it to whatever spec you want. Yeah. So we'll get this thing exactly where we want it. Minus 1.5 in the back, minus 2 up front for camber, and +6 for caster up front, and toe was a 1/16 of an inch up front. 1/16 in the back, 1/8 up front. That's what it was. So That's where we're going. Actually, for toe, we'll probably do 0 in the back and a 16th up front. Just, you know, with the extra power we have that we're throwing down on this, I'd rather keep it straight. You know, that's it. That's it for tonight. I know that's a quick one, super easy. Had a cool week outside of car life. Well, I shouldn't say a cool week, but I had uh, good news from other people. Today, my friend Willow, who I've known, God, since 10th grade. We grew up together in Colorado, went to the same high school and everything, and we've remained, friends throughout this whole time. She just released her first book today, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of her. That's a major accomplishment, major milestone in her life, which is really cool. And um, I found out one of my guitar buddies is transitioning, which I think is fine. That's, hey, whatever makes you happy is cool with me. I What's really messed up is he started more than a year ago, changed his name on all social media, and I didn't pick up on it. I did not even, well, because I didn't care. So it wasn't a huge thing for me. When he posted about basses or guitars or whatever, that was far more important than whatever his lifestyle choice was. So when I saw him, he got married and he had a kid, and then last year started transitioning. I guess I just got, first off, my life was, I was somewhere completely different too. So in fairness to myself, that was the reason, probably one of the main reasons why I missed it. I just wasn't paying attention to it. But he's doing well. It's a tough road. You make that decision and you go down that road, and he's kicking ass with it. So I'm pretty impressed, and I'm happy for him. If he's happy, that's awesome. I think it's a daughter. I think his daughter's she's very young, so she's gonna grow up with it, and hopefully she's okay with it too. It's pretty cool when people seek out happiness like that. They know what they want, and just go and do it. I like that. I like seeing that, especially for Willow too, because she's been working on that book for, I don't know, 8 years, long time. She's been saying she wants to write a book, wants to write a book, wants to write a book, and has all this stuff for her book, and just never got the time to do it, or sat down and did it. And last year, she actually sat down and did it, got a publisher, and got released today. It's on Amazon right now. I think it's just for Kindle for 99 cents, and then there's a soft cover and a hardcover coming. And I asked her to sign I ordered a hardcover. I asked her to sign it for me. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's kind of where we're at on Monday, and we're gonna keep going. Got a lot of cool stuff coming. A lot of cool stuff. Uh, just finished 24 Hours of Daytona. Just finished this past weekend, and congratulations to Porsche on winning that. It's been a long time, and I had some friends there at the races. They had a great time. They had a lot of fun. The ending was very confusing. They actually ended it just under. It was like 36 seconds or something under 24 hours. But there was confusion with the flag person and the timer and the officials, and that kind of three-way got messed up. They threw out the white flag with like 3 laps left instead of 1 lap left, and so it was kind of confusing. And the radio chatter was even more funny because the drivers like, they threw the checkered, but these guys are all still going hammer down, and the team captain comes on the radio and said, "Go, go, 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 keep going." They didn't know what was going on either, so they're just like, "Just keep going." Some guys had lifted throttle and other guys had not. So yeah, it was it was very confusing, and I think it was because the way the laps worked out, It was so close to exactly 24 hours. They were trying to hit 24 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds with a checkered flag, but they kind of jumped the gun. They should have done technically should have done one more lap, but it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. And according to the IMSA rules, checkered flag flies. That's the law. That's where the race ends. That is the end of it. So there's no further discussion. If they do it at, you know, 12 hours and 52 minutes, that's the end of the race too. A lot of the times they put those in the rules for safety because if you have really bad rain or weather or wind or lightning or whatever, they can call a race. A race director can call it. I've been in a race. I was in a race in Pittsburgh and it started snowing, and my co-driver Nolan and I were like, "Well, we're obviously not going out. We're watching all these cars come in on trucks, F2000s and USF cars, and they're coming in on cranes, because they went off track and rolled up the sod at this pit race. They're brand new sod, and it's snowing like there's snow on the ground on the grass. It's white." And Nolan and I, we were in, I think we were in my truck, and I was like, well, they're going to cancel this, so I'm going to change out of my race gear, and we'll go to awards when they're all done. And I'm in the truck, and over the radio, I hear, Wheeling TT groups 1 and 2, uh, head to grid, 10 minutes to grid. And I was like, what? What? No way. And we actually ran in the snow on full slicks, and we got second, which was cool. I was pretty happy with that, but it was very bizarre to hear, because Terry Earwood was a race director. He was my very first instructor, and he's a great guy, but he's from South Florida. He's from Homestead, so I figured snow. Terry doesn't want any part of that. He's gonna call it right away, especially with all these other cars coming in, either dinged up or they did 4 offs and they have no traction. I'm like, yeah, this is silly. They're gonna just call the race, and he didn't. We had 2 more groups go out. So we had TT1 and 2, and then TTU and TTX. They went out after us, and a couple of guys did spin out and go off, but we came through, no offs, and we did great. Thanks to Nolan, not thanks to me. Thanks to Nolan, we got second, right behind a local guy in a Mustang who was a couple seconds in front of us. So it's they can call a race. Race directors are the law, and if they call a checkered flag, that's the end of the race. That's how it works. So that's how it worked in Daytona this year. Although they were super close to that exact 24-hour mark, I think they just barely missed it. Now all the jokes are, is my Rolex 4 seconds fast or 12 seconds fast or whatever? Those are all the jokes now because it's the Rolex 24 hours of Daytona. So you can go with that. The Daytona race was great to watch. The Lambos, man, super surprised with the Lambos. They ran a really, really great race in GTD. I'm very, very impressed with that. My buddies down there said that they were definitely the loudest cars on the track. They were louder than the prototypes and all of that. So good job, Lambo. Way to get back into IMSA and kick ass. And Ray Hall was down there too, RLL with their badass BMW prototype. Looks really cool at night with this, I don't know, kind of like spooky-eyed grill that is all LEDs. It's a pretty cool little car. They had great drivers too. RLL always picks really, really top drivers. Did miss Michael Shank there. That was a bummer, but he made that choice last year to not do Daytona, so it's all right. It's kicking ass in Indy. You got to focus your efforts. So more car racing, a lot more car racing coming up. Not here in Ohio because it's 30 degrees. Yep, 29 degrees outside and 5-mile-an-hour winds, and it might rain later. So no racing here, but we can prep cars and get them ready. And my cars in particular are getting ready for Florida. And for Tail of the Dragon, we're going to go back down to Tail of the Dragon with the Viper guys at the end of May. So end of May, top of June, depending on Tail of the Dragon, they're repaving it. So whenever that paving schedule works out, hopefully we don't get caught in the middle of that. It is only 13 miles, or no, 11 miles, but they pave a whole bunch of US 129. So the Dragon itself is only 11 miles, but they have like 60 miles to pave. So we don't want to get caught in that or have to turn around or anything. So, and it's very difficult to pave that because you have to get big trucks up there, and it's a very tight road with very tight turns, a lot of drop offs. They'll have to do a lot of embankment repairs and stuff like that prior as well. So we'll see how it goes. But that's always fun with the Viper guys. Always love going down there with them. Great food, great driving, really killer, just killer people. I've been going down 15 years now, 14 years, and always have a great time. There's a 95% chance I'm going to take the Viper this year instead of the Miata. So we'll see how that goes. The Miata will probably be in Florida. So I'll just, actually my truck and trailer will also be in Florida. So I'll be going up to Tail of the Dragon instead of down to Tail of the Dragon. It'll be a slightly longer trip too. Like 10 hours instead of 7. So that's okay. And this thing's going out too. We're going to race Lemons. We're going to race NASA. Definitely doing a ton of autocrosses. It'll stay here in Ohio. It'll be in the trailer. It has its own trailer. So it'll stay here in Ohio, and I will come up and race this car. We'll go to pit race. We'll go to, probably go to NCM. We'll go to Gingerman. We'll do as many races as we can with this car now that everything's really sorted out and it's a monster. We love driving it. It's a lot of fun. So tons of stuff coming up, and I'll do it all live here on YouTube. So you guys can keep up with it and enjoy, riding along with us and cheering us along. So I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. I love seeing the notes saying, hey, XYZ subscribed. I love seeing that. That's great. I'm going to keep bringing you guys the real deal, the cool content, and until someone tells me to stop. This is what we're going to keep doing. So I really appreciate it. And don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze, okay? It's really important. Don't tell them that you love them. Show them that you love them, okay? All right. Thanks, everyone. I will catch you on the next YouTube Live. Cool. Have a good night.